Have you ever needed to just get away? Away from the daily grind, away from people, away from problems. Just load up the truck and drive. No real plan, no real destination, just a direction and a need for adventure. This is Going Rogue. What is going on YouTube? It's Ryan here, and today we are in Moab. Rolled in here late last night, and I just aired the truck down. We're gonna start with Gemini Bridges as a nice easy one, just to try to get our bearings here and see a few things. I hear it's quite scenic, so I'm looking forward to it. Yami's here, she's pumped for this trip. Enjoy the ride. Well, here we are on Gemini Bridges. We're right on the skinny one. Get back, Yami. Get back from there. Don't you get closer. That is a fall. You see diamond-billed rockpecker nests everywhere. I take it that's why it's Gemini Bridges, because there's two. Hello? Wow. Kind of an echo. Sure is pretty. Yeah, it's pretty thin.
Jump up and down real hard.
Gemini Bridges was a pretty neat rock formation, but there wasn't a whole lot to see, so I didn't spend much time there. Then I hopped back in the truck and continued on towards the White Rim area and explored some of the side roads along the way, looking for a spot to set up camp. Somewhere along the way, I came across this alternate route with a couple smaller obstacles, and it looked like a good warm-up for the days to come, and I just couldn't pass up a chance to test out those new rock sliders. Right here. Good morning. Well, we just got packed up and I had to grease some fittings and everything on the truck. She was at a squeak. Can't deal with no squeaks. That means that something's wearing. So, but anyways, it was a beautiful campsite, as you can see. There's a big old canyon right there. I saw some planes flying through this morning. It's pretty cool. Look at the views out here. There's just nothing. That's why I love it out here out west. It just doesn't feel the same being back home east and trying to overland. You just really hop in between little patchwork pieces of public land, and it's just not the same. And any place that's fun to camp or a beautiful spot, there's a cabin right across from you. You can see, which kind of ruins the vibe. So, but anyways, we're gonna head back up White Rim. Take Gemini Bridges back down into Moab. I want to get a couple things, and I think we're gonna head for the swell today. All right, we left Moab a little bit ago. We are headed up to the swell. Almost there. Just got some gas at Green River. Just make sure I'm topped off because it's a long ways all the way through it. So that's about my biggest We stopped for a minute at this fence to check out these old pictographs on the canyon wall, which was pretty neat and crazy to think that after all these years, they're still visible and have lasted ages until when recently some idiot came along and decided it was a good idea to leave his own Rembrandt. What a shame. I really like this trail. I'd never driven through such a narrow little gorge, but it was a cool experience, and I liked the way the trail snaked through the canyon and the sun brought the colors out of the cliff walls. It was just really neat, and the whole trail just gave you that adventure vibe we're all looking for. Right when I got out of the canyon section, I found this campsite, and we had been pushing hard for the last few days, so I decided I'd call it an early day and pull off. And this ended up being probably one of my top 5 favorite campsites ever. It was in a big, flat, open area, and it was surrounded by cliffs on all 4 sides, so it kind of closed off the world and made you feel like you were on your own planet. And the sunset from here was incredible. The next morning, we got packed up and headed out to finish the second half of the trail, which I'll say wasn't nearly as interesting as the first part, but it was still pretty in its own right. It just weaved in and out of this valley, dipped through the sagebrush, and it was just pretty much a long dirt road. So I'll probably skip through a lot of it. That second half took a lot more time and gas than I had thought. So instead of driving from north to south, I decided I'd head to the southern end so I could refuel and then enter from there, which is where I found the coolest gas station I think I've ever seen built into this rock in a very interesting town. This was also going to put me on track to camp somewhere that I've been waiting to go to for a very, very long time. All right, we just left Hanksville and we're going to be heading out into Caneville here in a minute. It's not looking good though. I see some rain clouds up ahead of us, so I'm hoping that we can catch the tail end of it. There's a sandstorm right now. Yeah, the rain clouds don't make me feel good. But maybe that's enough to chase some people out of where I want to be. I've got one epic campsite picked out, so I guess we'll find out. Yep, I see some raindrops. Doesn't look like there's much more of it, no, I'll say. It looks like it's almost blown by, so if we can get to this campsite, my life will be complete. This is an epic one. I've had picked out for a long time. Hopefully nobody else has, but I doubt it. But we'll see. Let you know when we hit the trail. So we just got back onto the, I don't know, dirt road that leads you out by Factory Butte here. It is really windy. It's probably 40-50 mile an hour gusts right now. We're gonna go check it out though, because it looks like everybody has cleared on it here. Might get lucky and get that campsite. I don't know. Let's go get a picture by Factory Butte. What do you see out there, girl? Look at this. Someone's got the zoomies. We're out by Factory Butte. Look at that shot. Nothing around except some rain clouds, unfortunately, today. Okay, I found it. The epic spot I've seen on multiple videos. Look at this shit, dude. I can't believe I got a camp spot. Hopefully the wind dies down a little bit and I can stay here. But look at this. There's the ground. Look at this edge. Look at that, beautiful. it's been a fantastic night, I gotta say. Weather was fair. It got a little windy when I was trying to cook, which made cooking a steak a little tougher than it should have been, but hey, the rest of the night was pretty calm. I got this beautiful view. This was a dream come true to come here and actually, you know, and get a good spot, and this was amazing. I highly recommend anybody you watching it that you need to make the trip out here. It's worth it. It's breathtaking. I mean, look at that. But all right, guys, I'm gonna get on the road. I think we're gonna head further out into the swell.